Well, earlier I was going to call you an asshole because, well, if you take five and you add five and you add 10 and you add 10 and you got 20, you got infinite kindness, you got infinite gratuity. And through that, you can find something that's a perpetual inside of you. Like you're drinking that coffee, there's something spiritual about that. So I think my departure and my entree in were almost the same thing, and they're almost on the same day. If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place? I mean, these are metaphors because I wanted the thrill, I wanted the wonderful excitement of being nominated for an Oscar and not winning an Oscar, but not feeling too bad about that because I was nominated for an Oscar. Clockwork Orange. How about Clockwork not orange? Some other color. I got a car stereo. It's not mine. I don't know where it came from. I used to steal car stereos after Buddy Holly for a summer because I just wanted to feel weird. It's not my gem. I don't buy gem. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. That's why I don't bungee cord. It's too dangerous. It's not. It's you could pop your eyeballs out. Now look at the purple, the color purple. A child's marker. It's so purple. That hasn't always been the case. 10 years ago, these markers weren't so purple, but now they're purple. Now they're really, really fucking purple, and it's alarming to me, and it's also enchanting to me to see the deep blue sea inside. And I can't tell if you're fucking with me, but if you are fucking with me, by the grace of God and the eternal spirit and those in the wall and those beyond,
Yeah.
I see your face, I see your gratitude, I see your dust and into a splatitude. That if you get on ice and you don't have the right spirit, it'll eat you alive. But on the other hand, if you do have the spirit, you'll become too cocky and it'll leave you alive. So this is a postcard to the person that you love most. And what would you say to that person? That's this is the divide. This is the overzealous. This is the person that bows on one's knee and he paints the roof. And there's this periscope and an angel and it's a paradoxical freedom. You're not going to say anything, but I'm going to continue. It's a paradoxical freedom, and it's up against the wall. Some things you don't want to talk about is better because that's just a more honorable way to be. And he used to take my Zagnut bars. I had my own stash of Zagnut bars. I'd hide them in different places, in different scenery. And he would
Really?
always find them and he would always take them away from me. Now, I never saw him do it. I don't have video of him doing it, but I know that he did it, you know. I just can't prove it. Can't prove it. Can't prove it. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. He said, you could have Diet Coke, but why? You know, I was looking for arrowheads one time. I was out in Goose Creek, and we were looking for arrowheads. And my buddy Billy, same, not the dirty Billy. This guy was not dirty, and he was saying to me, you know, if you look for cow heads, you'll find arrowheads. And I said, that's just something else, isn't it? So I followed that, and I found a cow head, and underneath it, I found an arrowhead. So I believe in anything and everything combined and multiplied and divided by, etc. I played Bear Bryant in a movie called Bear, and I remember doing him. It was like, we ain't going outside anymore if we lose another game. And they didn't lose another game. They won all the games. If you've seen the movie, you'll see the actual prowess of the character. And I remember getting into shape for that. I was eating Zulu rings. Zulu rings are those little ketchup rings. You said ketchup, but they are actually sugar ketchup in a long tube, and you don't suck it out. You bite it off, and it's really nice candy because you don't have to eat it all at once. You can just kind of, and you don't feel the pressure to eat it all at once, like your brother or sister's gonna come around the corner and take it away from you. So so I played Bear, and I remember Buddy Holly was good, Under Siege, and there were a lot of different movies that were special for me, and they were chapters in my life. Some chapters I wish. I mean, Buddy Holly, I did 5 movies before that. I was tight and ready to go. My ankles were they were swollen as they could get. And I remember going into that movie, and you had to play guitar. You had to play guitar. They said, you got to play guitar. I said, I play guitar, and I'll show you how to play guitar. And so I played guitar, and I got the movie, and the only thing that I couldn't really decipher from in my own expeditions was the frequency. Again, back to frequency. It was the frequency of being able to figure out which lines I was going to do at what time, because it was a fast movie, and it happened almost overnight. It was almost 2 nights of shooting. I had a couple of Chicago-style hot dogs, and it was early in the morning. It was 9 a.m. in the morning, and I came up to him and I said, "Here, have a hot dog." And I didn't exchange names or anything like that. And then he said, I don't eat hot dogs this early. So he had a bit of an attitude. And that's the tranquillicism that you find when you're backing up, you're putting your car back into your parking spot. Look both ways, but also look behind you. Well, the first thing that's on a Chicago hot dog is a weenie. Maybe if you use that voodoo witchcraft on your own trade, you'd find somewhere on the other end of the snake pit. I mean, do you know what a revolutionary soldier looks like? Have you seen photographs? Have you seen paintings? Have you seen charcoal sketches? Go under the creek, find a ball, come back up, discover it all, back and forth, Sandy and Louise. I will take you to, somewhere else. This is what reporters do. This is what you like to do, right? Like to put me out on an ice barge. There's a defined frequency. There's not necessarily the frequency you want it to be, but it serves a purpose. It's like that movie, like You Can't Handle the Truth. You can't handle the truth. The truth, son. We live in a world that has walls. This thing, and I don't think we do live in a world that has walls. I think that we live in a world that has frequency. I was going to almost join the Marines until I heard it was so tough. I don't know why I didn't get that information sooner, but I should have figured it out at some point. I should have gone pee before I sat down, and now I'm sort of battling this. In Goose Creek, they used to call it, you were battling the sack. You're holding a beanie bag in one hand, and you're holding a goldfish in the other, and the two are never going to get near each other because you never even think of doing such a thing. But hey, here's another scene I thought we could do if we could add it, and it was the scene where I was wearing female lingerie, and he wouldn't go for it, but I went for it on my break, and I love wearing that stuff. You must understand that you go to Chinatown, you get nunchucks. Well, now you can't get nunchucks. Before you get nunchucks, and they hit yourself on the hand, you go numb fucks, because it hurt, but you didn't want to say ow or anything like that. You just said, So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards. If I get into numbers, then what am I getting into facts for? Do I look like a native Navajo Indian? Do I look like I'm trying to claim my land back? I already have my land. I live in Malibu. And if I lose my land, that's okay because sand gives me sand is the only witness of the divine preacher. If you can see it, you can feel it. And if you can touch it, you better take it back tomorrow if you have your receipt.
He's putting his head in it?
Man. Wow, man, freaked out.
What is your goddamn problem?